Djokovic beat Federer. A great night ahead.
Hello and welcome to the 104th edition of the Australian Championships. Of course, it's the 48th of the Open era, and it's the 29th time we're playing the Australian Open here at Melbourne Park. My name's Rob Koenig. I'm delighted to welcome alongside me an Aussie tennis legend in Mark Woodford, 17 times a major champion. And boy, am I looking forward to this tonight, Mark.
Robbie, I am too, and two of the biggest names in tennis, they have not played here at the Australian Open since 2011, and I think the crowd, the excitement is starting to build up. They want to see these two gladiators come out, and I think we're expecting a big opening first set.
Yeah, it's going to be of vital importance to Federer, I think more so. He's only ever beaten Novak on one occasion when he's lost the opening set. Hearts will be beating now.
A few solitary moments coming out of the locker room where there's a lot of buzz coming down this hallway. Last minute thoughts.
The Avenue of Champions. A wonderful entrance to one of sport's great precincts, the Relive Arena.
Ladies and gentlemen, in single semi-final action on Relive Arena. From Switzerland, please welcome Roger Federer.
A 17-time major champion. He holds just about every record in our sport.
And his opponent from Serbia, Novak Djokovic.
But tonight he is up against the best player on the planet currently, who's chasing down those records that Federer has been setting over the last decade or so. And he has a single-mindedness and steely resolve about him that I've seen in few players. It's turned out to be an absolute stunning evening here in Melbourne. We had a bit of rain earlier today, currently 25 degrees Celsius. The roof is open. Too many clouds to speak of.
And ladies and gentlemen, also joining us,
I guess with these conditions, I mean, it's a good indication of what the conditions are like.
Well, as you said about Federer, you know, arguably the greatest of all time. We say that a little quietly here in Australia because of that man that we saw with the ice cream.
Rod Laver.
Rod Laver, having won 2 Grand Slams in his career, and absolutely loves coming out to watch Roger Federer.
Mutual admiration between those two guys. This could very well be the final of any major. They've contested a lot of them.
Hello, this is Maka. All right? Yeah. Okay, gentlemen, we play the same condition. Any
Pascal
questions?
Maria is the man in the middle.
Maka, would you ask to Novak or Roger, head or tails?
Head or tails.
Well done. Tell me, what is it? Is it head? Roger. Receive? Decide. Okay, we have a couple of issues with Maka,
So
both
Federer
sides, and you two guys,
won the
please.
toss and has elected to receive first. And how about that for a picture to take pride of place on the mantelpiece back at home. Micah, one of those stars from the Hot Shots program. This will be episode number 45 between Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer.
And what's amazing, Robbie, is 45th occasion tonight. They are locked at 22 apiece.
And it's just another ingredient, spices it up even more. Chance for Novak to go ahead on that head-to-head and, of course, establish a winning record against all of the big 5. That is something quite impressive. But he's going to have to take care of this man, 34 years of age now, and amazing that he is still playing such good tennis. Just finished number 3 in the world behind Andy Murray, who had a career best season. A decent amount of prize money. And of course, speaking of prize money, this match could determine, Mark, who could reach the $100 million mark first.
17 of those
won a fair few titles. The biggest one, of course, was in Cincinnati. The others, no disrespect, but certainly smaller events. It was the man on the other side of the court who was able to clean up at all the big events. 5 times a champion here. Both guys looking to make it through to the finals here for a 6th time. And it's not the easiest of draws. Dolgopolov could be a potential banana peel, but he took care of business, did Roger?
No missteps at all against Dolgopolov, and certainly had to hit some form against Dimitrov. Starting to maybe come together is Grigor's game, but Federer in 3 straight sets. Goffin was maybe a bit of an easier pass through to the quarterfinals, and I think for me, Robbie, in my opinion, he played a frazzled Thomas Berdych. I think he was pretty much wasted mentally and physically from playing Nick Kyrgios in the 3rd round and then taking out Bautista Agut in a long 5-set match the round before.
28 years of age, he's still got plenty of years ahead of him if Federer is anything to go by. Currently, he sits at $94 million in prize money. Of course, 2015 was a career best for him. He won 6 Masters 1000s, 3 majors, and of course throw the ATP World Tour Finals and Beijing in the mix. And what he's attempting to do tonight, Mark, is make it through to a 17th consecutive final.
Yep. It's scintillating, isn't it? The past 16 tournaments he's been there as well, and this is his road to tonight's match. No, Chong, he actually took care of him. Alice, the same. Seppi can be a tough customer, but then caught in that 5-set match with Gilles Simon. I know that you called that match, yes, and we were discussing it, you know, as we were sitting down prepping for this match.
Certainly was an interesting one. The lack of pace that was provided by Simon really seemed to trouble Djokovic. The fact that he always feeds off pace, he's so good at creating angles, so Gilles didn't give him any of that, and nor did he give him anything to feed off when it came to serving. He was prepared to hit a lot of serves at the body forehand of Djokovic and then take the rally from there. Now, this is where things get very interesting. They've met on 44 occasions. It's split at 22 apiece. I mean, we can break down the numbers as much as we want. How much does that matter, Mark, when going into a match of this magnitude? Do you actually think about your win-loss record against somebody or your head-to-head?
Well, I think these two, because they are such leaders in the game, and we mentioned earlier, locked at 22, there's a little bit of spice to this. I certainly can recollect times when Todd and I, against a particular team that we played often, we wanted to try and keep our edge over them, and we knew if they were getting close to us, we just wanted to keep them at bay. So I think you know, there's a little bit to it, but these two, they want to just inflict defeat over each other. I think you have a bit of a story, though, because not just that last match, but they played each other twice in the ATP Tour Finals, where they split the match, split the matches, the result. And
Djokovic fans will tell you, well, the one that he did lose was in the group stages, and it was of pretty much zero consequence. But when it really did matter, it was Novak who stepped it up in the finals there in London, winning pretty comfortably 3 and 4. So it was an interesting dynamic that took place in that tournament. And as a neutral, just commentating on it, it was interesting to watch the body language of Novak, and you could tell that he wasn't into that round-robin match like he was in the finals. Boris Becker has been on board for a fair few years now, and he'll be relishing this matchup. Of course, he said some interesting things in his book about Federer. And what do you think he brings to the Novak Djokovic camp? You've been in it, Mark. You've been part of that circle of trust with Novak a couple of years ago.
Yep, it was a number of years ago, and I think it's a different Djokovic from 6-7 years ago to where he is now. Back then, he was just trying to sponge so much, absorb so much information, and he was working on a very specific part of his game, transitioning from the baseline to the net, and just so that it became more natural. He didn't like the fact that he was, you know, when he tried it or tried to employ it, that he was getting beaten by it and lost his confidence. Took a while for it to sink in, but I think Becker, what he brings is that Boris has the experience as well of all of these major finals, and it is such a fine line, just that a little edge, and I think he's just added to Djokovic, as you just said about the ATP finals, that, you know, that round robin was really of zero consequence to the outcome, but when Djokovic got to the final. That's where their little group got together, lifted it up a level, and he won another big match.
The 45th meeting between Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer. It's the second most matches played on a head-to-head at the tour level in the Open era.
Ready?
17-time major champion. And that man taken on a 10-time major champion, 5 times a winner here is Novak. This should be a cracker. Here we go. It's Mark Woodford alongside me, Rob Koenig. We've been looking forward to this one from earlier on this afternoon, once we were prepping, looking at all the numbers, but those all go out of the window as far as these guys are concerned once you take to the match court. You've played so many big matches over the course of your career. What is the feeling like when you play a match like this? Are these guys so good and have played so many of these big matches that it doesn't really get the juices flowing that much more? Or is that not the case?
I think it does get your juices going. The adrenaline's kicking in. There's that confidence, so you know that you can play up to a high standard because all the hard work is done pre-event. First few rounds. Comfortable little passing shot there from Djokovic.
We're going to see Federer come in a little bit more tonight. What are you thinking?
I think that this is certainly a play that that Federer needs to go with very early on.
How's that for an opening service game from the world #1?
First game.
But in all, I mean, reality, Robbie, if you agree, we've got arguably the greatest server in the game right now, Roger Federer, coming up against arguably the greatest returner. So these two, the contrast is what makes it exciting. If Federer can hit his numbers with the serve, might come out on top. If he doesn't,
Roger
Djokovic
Federer
probably has got him tonight.
Who's the crowd going to be behind tonight?
Well, for sure, Federer. I mean, you can just hear that response right there after the first point. And that's one thing that we should maybe follow Djokovic, just his reaction, that if Federer does get his nose in front, the crowd will just, the noise here in this stadium will lift so many decibels. Will Djokovic, will that affect his ego?
Just long. Good for width. Exquisite length early on from Novak.
15-14.
Hasn't missed a ball yet.
Look at that focus in the eyes. Glaring down, waiting for that ball.
Djokovic.
What a statement of intent.
Djokovic leads
from Novak. It's a manner in which he's broken him that I think is quite telling already.
Yes, I mean, there are so many numbers that we could churn out for everyone watching at home, but I think a key ingredient there is when Federer loses 2 or more serves against Djokovic, he hasn't beaten him since 2012. So there's 1 service break already.
Oh, I like that.
And you and I also were discussing about a match they played back in 2014, Shanghai. Oh, it's an indoor tournament, but that's the type of return that Federer played quite a bit. Ended up winning in straight sets. Was a best-of-3 set encounter. Federer, though, was very aggressive behind that back and return, winning 4 and 4.
Yeah, proactive. Served and volleyed a fair bit too.
It's a Federer return on the left center line. But it was scoring.
Yep. Just got a piece of the line.
So Federer has 2 challenges remaining.
That reaction, I'm guessing probably about 85%, 80 to 85% of the people in here on Federer's side. The remainder pulling for Novak.
Again, the speed of the courts this year, Robbie, has certainly aided Federer on that backhand side. The ball comes through around hip level and he can come over the top. But the length that Novak has already started in this, he's having to half volley, he's having to take that little extended step into the backhand.
Yeah, and of course, when you keep trying to take the ball on the rise, you take on more risk.
Yep.
He's dialed in early on with the backhand down the line. We saw the winner of
40-50.
Federer coming in, now again there. And for me, that's always a barometer of Djokovic's confidence when he's hitting that backhand down the line early in a match and making a lot of them. He's feeling good about himself.
Oh, wow.
That is jaw-dropping stuff in the opening 3 games. He's off to a flyer. Djokovic leads 3-love first set. And I like the tactic of attacking the Novak forehand, because for me it's the side that leaks more errors and it's more vulnerable under pressure.
What the return there, I mean, that's a half volley pickup. Federer getting a good, healthy hit. Have a look at the slide on the stretch as well. Maybe Federer not sprinting to net fast enough, but I don't think he would have cut any of that volley off at all.
Oh, you're a tough critic, man. I mean, your volleys were good, I know that.
But come on, if you're attacking net, you've got to get there. You've got to expect the best. They're going to make a good attempt at a pass, but I don't think a racket would have reached a glorious forehand threaded up the line from Djokovic.
It's the power, the balance, the control at the end of range that is just so astonishing. men's semi-finals action here from the Australian Open. It's the first of them. Tomorrow evening, Andy Murray will take on Milos Raonic. At the moment, it's Novak Djokovic dominating proceedings here on Rod Laver Arena.
15 up.
It's just the third point that Federer's won out of 15.
Robbie, when you think of trying to put a player together, you're taking a piece of everyone. Would you certainly go with Federer's serve as the one that you'd want a new player to have? That's the serve.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind Raonic or Isner's.
I'd want their height.
Yeah, Federer.
I mean, his serve has been incredibly consistent over a long period of time. I know where you're coming from. Second serve as well.
Djokovic leads 3-2.
He's defended that shot very well. Technically, it's so sound. Uses the major muscle groups so very well. Let's have a quick head-to-head here. Who's got the better forehand, Federer or Djokovic?
15 up.
Federer.
Backhand?
Djokovic.
Forehand volley?
First volley, Federer. Second volley, Djokovic.
It's going to be an important shot, I think, for Federer tonight to plug away at that forehand of Novak. Gilles Simon did it really well. Movement.
Djokovic. See that Federer standing inside that baseline to return Djokovic's second serve. Ominous returns, but still hasn't followed up enough after making the return. Hasn't made the move toward the net. Lovely court position and moving forward. Getting the ball early, directing it down the line. Sweet return. And that's where the court as well, Robbie. I think it's taking some of the slice, certainly out wide with players, and if a player can knife their backhand slice, the ball shoots through, stays nice and low, just like the return from Federer on the last point.
Again, defends his serve well. He's in control early on here. 5 games played. He leads 4-1 first set.
Holger, can you give me a blue power red, please?
Less than 25% of senior management roles are held by women. Represent 40% of the roles in workforce.
Sorry, thank you.
31 million girls worldwide are still denied a primary education. Women are up to 36% less than men.
Can achieve the lofty heights that these two have achieved unless you're incredibly strong between the years. Is Federer getting on now, 34 years of age? Many have suggested that he's still playing some of the best tennis of his career, if not the best. Just married but willing to exchange. Hopefully Mirka doesn't see that one.
And where's the husband of that young lady? Left him at home.
It's an interesting question. Who do you think between Federer and Djokovic is stronger in the head, Mark?
I think right now, Robbie, you'd certainly have to say Djokovic. It's not to say that Federer is failing in that department.
It's an interesting discussion. I've enjoyed playing devil's advocate with some of my friends. Often have a look at the fifth set record, how they handle it when things start to get tough. Federer 23 and 19. He's actually 123rd on that all-time list. Djokovic is 10th. Lovely combination of shots.
That's that element of risk.
15,
coming forward on the backhand volley. It's making sure he's gone for depth, placement, and his athleticism getting him back for that overhead.
It wasn't like it was an easy smash either. Again, Novak asking one more tough question in the rally.
Again, there's the start of that rally. When Federer missed the first serve, Djokovic just quickly sending the ball back with firm, right up the middle, pushing Federer backwards.
As good as 2 set points, these for Djokovic.
Isn't he? Right now, best tennis that he's played in the tournament.
He's just cranked it up a couple of notches.
Leads 5 games.
And probing away at Djokovic's forehand, but showing no sign of weakness. He beats Federer there with raw pace.
Yep. You'd see Federer still taking a couple of smaller steps after making contact. And the crowd not reacting. You know, they're not going crazy.
Love it. 15 all.
So a bit of breaking down Federer's backhand. Been keeping it tighter than the taxman's purse as Novak, as far as the unforced errors are concerned. You've got to be kidding me.
And certainly Federer asked plenty of questions with this approach. It was hit with some sting. But Djokovic just creating this angle.
Too fast, too strong, too good. It's been a faultless opening set from Novak.
And that first serve there, Robbie, not at full power. He's not redlining that serve. 186 Ks, but very close to the tee.
2 set points. A little bit of Federer magic. I mean, you definitely think you're going to get another look at this if you're Novak. Still set point up.
Yeah.
That is a set played with ruthless efficiency.
6-1.
Just 22 minutes. Novak wins at 6-1.
Certainly was ruthless, the numbers there for both players. Balance between winners and unforced errors. So much positivity coming out of Djokovic's end. He's just clean striking the ball. 5 winners, measly on the unforced errors too. It's Federer. Only 5 winners and 12 unforced errors. There would be a bunch of forced errors as well coming from the end of Djokovic. Have a look at these highlights, but from the moment, that was the very first game.
Yes.
Almost the first point, I want to say, and the pass.
Yeah, I mean, how close is that to the line? There's another one coming up here as well. Check this out. I mean, it's within an inch. The serve was solid. Effective, but first serve percentage wasn't jaw-dropping by any stretch of the imagination, Mark.
No, not at all. Not at all. And even the way that he just hit that serve there, Robbie, it's almost like that kick serve, trying to get it up high, out of the hitting zone of the Federer backhand. Not anywhere near as effective, Federer, when the ball is up around his shoulder, head height off the backhand wing.
And of course, as a pro, you've got to have selective memory. Wipe the slate clean, which Federer will do. Certainly need to do anyway at the start of the second. Here we go. Oh, it's unplayable. On quick reflection, Federer won the toss, chose to receive first. In hindsight,
I was surprised that he even elected to receive. It's almost where the head games really started right there, Robin. It just, if I was Djokovic, I think that tells me a definite story, how Federer, where it was his mind at the time.
Nicely done. Good disguise.
That
was an important point as well.
Yeah, peripherally, you can see that Djokovic is very deep behind the court.
I just think that Djokovic loves the pace that Federer hits the ball at.
30-40.
Didn't like the lack of pace Gilles Simon was feeding him with. He gave him a steady diet of slow balls.
Relive.
Yes.
Certainly must be wondering what is happening here. Amazed with the standard already from Djokovic, no doubt.
Good body language from Federer as well. He's amped, understanding the importance of steadying the ship, asserting his authority early on if he can. Very important hold there.
First game,
saving a break point. Finally getting his nose out in front in a set.
One never can tell, Robbie, about the crowd reaction there, how they've now almost like chanting out Federer, one love. You know, you're up the other end if you're the premier player in men's tennis. You do expect a healthy crowd support.
Yep. But
it doesn't matter where he plays. It's a very pro Federer.
Well, the US Open was a perfect example. The finals there was pretty much 100% pro Federer.
Yeah, and at times it has bothered Djokovic. Strong numbers there.
He's only lost 1 point when that first serve has gone in. Not going to cut it against Djokovic.
Or trying to probe, isn't he? See if he can maybe find a little weakness. But a great response. The reply very strong from Djokovic.
Big fan of the down the line passing shot, most direct way past your opponent. If you hit it well, 9 times out of 10, you know where the next volley is going to go, right?
You're going to be chasing the person who's hit the passing shot. You're going to be chasing, running onto the ball.
Yeah, cross court.
Yeah.
So as soon as you hit the pass, you can already start making your move.
That's it.
Love that serve. And
40.
I'm a little surprised that we haven't seen Federer just take the pace off of it and slide it out on the first court as well, as a certainly as a very repetitive tactic against Djokovic. Oh,
it's an oil painting of a backhand. It's such an early strike. I mean, just talk to us about the hand-eye coordination to hit that kind of shot.
well, I mean, to react so quickly, get into that, you know, load up, balanced, and thread the ball up there. I mean, very compact, very assured. I think it would be almost like if Federer sent down a dart and Djokovic was standing 3 feet in front of him, that Djokovic could almost just take it out of the air between his thumb and forefinger. Such are the reactions of Djokovic right now.
Love 30.
Tough shot to pull off. In trouble again on serve is Roger. Oh, he is on fire. Once again, it's that linear passing shot causing all kinds of damage.
It certainly is a great passing shot, but the approach not really well directed down the center corridor.
Let first service.
He's missed it long. Federer wants a challenge, but no question. That one is floated long, and again, taking on a lot of risk, running around that shot, trying to hit the inside-in forehand.
Djokovic.
Novak Djokovic has
Djokovic leads
total control here, a set and a break.
Mr. Federer has one challenge remaining. Has 2 challenges remaining.
Well, I'll be pretty happy with the way things have gone so far. So a fair few Djokovic fans. Not too many of them. Those are the bejeweled dates, best source of natural sugar in the world. Did you know that?
I didn't.
You're surprised that he's takes things to the nth degree?
he is becoming fanatical, isn't he, about his diet. And a very calm Boris Becker. Not much reaction so far. It's like he's just, well, this is what we expected. This is what we planned. Hasn't had to stand up out of his seat so far.
Men's singles semi-finals, the first one of the 2 tomorrow night. It'll be Milos Raonic. What a great start to 2016 he's had against Andy Murray, 4 times a runner-up here. It's all eyes on this one first, top of the draw. Federer against Djokovic. Roger is struggling big time.
So it's interesting how you said that Federer is struggling, and I almost think he's been not playing badly. There's always an answer.
He's been outplayed.
Yeah. I don't think his level has been, you know, poor at all.
See the tactic there, just trying to pull Novak off the baseline.
And then the intense power to drive that. He struck that final backhand, barely catching the top of the tape.
(30-15).
Pressing now, isn't it? He is trying to run with Djokovic. A couple more errors starting to stem from Federer's end.
Double digits on that forehand side.
Lovely 1-2.
40-15.
Made sure he got it, the volley out in front.
I mean, the scary thing is, as good as those two shots were, Novak almost made that pass.
And how close did Federer have to hit to the line?
Exactly.
Game.
Space level of play on Novak has been outstanding. I mean,
so is there a period that we're going to see Djokovic just come off of this high? I mean, I haven't seen, I don't think ever, Novak start off in this manner. But can he keep it going till the end of the second set? We're only 37 minutes into this match.
First service.
Yeah, I heard it up here as well. Heard the machine go off. I think Federer will get definitely one look in this set. So to answer your question, I don't think it's going to drop dramatically the level. But I fancy Roger to fashion a love 30, maybe a break point at the very least. Ridiculous. Against 99 out of the top 100 players, those shots would have been good enough. Djokovic is not in that category.
To be able to find the angle, he was down the middle of the court and still the precision. Is that a little look there?
I mean, can you keep this up? Yeah.
And why not? Maybe that's what we need to see from Federer.
Djokovic will relish trying to beat Federer as badly as he possibly can. Even Lady Luck now is wearing
15-14.
the white, red and blue of that Serbian flag.
Ivan Ljubicic Just started working with Roger Federer this year. Merker, face of concern. Has she ever had to sit through a match like this? It's been a walloping so far. Another.
Oh, he has been utterly dominant. It's Novak Djokovic with tennis from another planet. He leads by a set and 4-1 double break.
Well, I did not. I've been told that everything is there. So I did not get for it. Thank you. Time.
41 minutes in the making, and Roger Federer is almost 2 sets to love down. He is struggling to make any inroads against a white-hot Novak Djokovic. This has been a good old-fashioned beatdown. And Mark Woodford alongside me, Rob Koenig, and both stunned at how the opening set and a half has been played. Certainly didn't see this coming.
Enough. Let. First service.
PlayStation tennis, just pinging it back and forward. The moment it goes to Novak's backhand, it's thanks for coming.
I was just watching, trying to focus on Djokovic through that rally, and the absorption that he can make off of these full-blooded drives from Federer, and then he recovers back into a healthy part of the court.
$30-15.
Did we just see a forehand error from Djokovic?
No, surely not. Those unforced errors, just 4. Djokovic fans will tell you that was a forced error, Mark.
Federer trying to create something there.
40-15.
Slide it over the net, maybe short down the line to Djokovic. Found the net.
Djokovic leads 5 games to 1.
And it's just an incredible display of shot-making, balance, controlled aggression from Novak, and he's rushing Federer into error. You can see Boris Becker in the background, Milan Amanovic, physiotherapist of Novak, delighted with his performance so far, and why not? Why not?
Love 15.
I've got a tweet from Rob Ingham in New Zealand. If you could go down on court right now and spend 30 seconds with Djokovic, with Federer, excuse me, what would you tell him? Davis Cup style. Quick timeout.
Yep,
15 all.
Might be about just the pace that he's trying to go with right now. I mean, Djokovic is just loving it. So, you know, maybe employ a few more backhand slices. Try to take that pace off of the ball.
And maybe a bit more of that as well.
Combination on the serve. Throw in a few serve volleys. But take your time. Allow yourself to get into these rallies. I mean, he's just being chopped with the pace that he's providing Djokovic right now.
That was the serve that he used a lot against Novak. And they played the round-robin match, which he won in London at the season-ending finale. He was a little unlucky there, that backhand catching the top of the tape.
Yep. Court this year as well is taking the kick serve, but you have to kick it. There's that serve. No, just taking the pace off of it. He doesn't need to go for 80%,
40, 30.
85% pace. Just bring it down to almost 50%. Force Djokovic to come up with a response. 158 Ks.
It was Gilles Simon-like.
Sorry, but could Federer hit a better second serve just there? And look what happened.
Yes.
All right, now Djokovic, he's a one-man highlight reel.
Djokovic.
Yeah, I'm sure, Robbie, you know, this level for you and I mean, it's quite, it takes your breath away. But I think with Weir out there, it's almost like you try and, you know, bring Djokovic down, try and just junk him.
Set point, Novak.
Clearly, Federer,
Yes.
the level is just, you know, too hot for him at the moment. So maybe just dirt ball and junk ball.
Oh, that is another forehand of rich quality.
Advantage, Djokovic.
I mean, how many good forehands down the line has he hit so far this evening? Passing shots we've seen, fair few of those. And showing us that it's no problem either from the back of the court. Set point number 2.
Yes. Advantage Federer.
Not quite picking up the direction of that serve. Djokovic having to play a one-handed backhand.
It's an important hold for at least to get one more look at the Djokovic serve in the second set. 5-2, Novak leads, double break and by a set to love. You know when it's a performance that is pretty much taken everybody by so amazed with what's going on, I should be saying, is it's when Twitter starts lighting up with famous sports people watching it and fellow tennis players saying they've never seen a guy play this well. Doesn't happen often.
Not at all. It's just champagne tennis right now for Djokovic.
Time.
Go Novak!
Well, it's the Grand Slam of Asia Pacific. The sport has been dominated by Europeans over the last decade. Roger Federer for many years, but it's been the likes of Rafael, Nadal, and now Novak Djokovic who own the keys to the rankings penthouse. Djokovic serving for a 2-sets-to-love lead. Three set points for Novak.
The second set.
Djokovic just a set away from a place in Sunday's showpiece final. He wins the second 6-2. Minutes, and Federer has been giving a lesson out here on center stage, and I tell you what, it hasn't happened too often in his career.
It hasn't at all, and when you're playing against numbers like that, the first serve percentage has risen for Djokovic, still traveling along nicely with the winners. 4 unforced errors.
But just have a look at these highlights, Mark. I mean, okay, that was a wing and a prayer. Djokovic still not missing out on the forehand, though. How early did he take that?
Yep.
Here's the up the line again on the forehand. I mean, you know, Federer's just missing his spots, not by much. But that was a ridiculous point that he turned around.
Time.
It's been a fascinating first semi-finals, not because it's been close, but it's because of the level of tennis that the world #1 has been playing. He's given Roger very few looks in. Quality of his shot making in every area of his game has been supreme. The crowd now wanting more from Federer. Set number 3, here we go. And he needs to engage them, give them something.
15 off.
It's going to get them more involved in this match. Djokovic has done such a good job of keeping them out of it.
For a number of years at Roland Garros, when he was getting beaten by Nadal year after year, really showing little reaction, wasn't he, in those losses? And a few people commented we needed to see a bit more of Federer.
He's just missed it.
Maybe a bit more emotion. Annoyed, whether it's making a comment just to himself, or even looking up the other end and kind of.
I would like to see him say something to Novak.
Exactly,
I mean,
exactly.
Can you keep playing this well? You know. Maybe tongue-in-cheek, but get the message across there somehow, Mark.
He's got to be able to unsettle Novak.
Forehand is caught a little late.
40-30. Federer. New balls, please. First game, third set.
And in hindsight, to be able to start the match off by winning when he won the coin toss, holding serve in that very first game, but electing to return serve, and it really set the tone. It's been so much traffic in the way of this man here.
As you can hear, crowd very much behind Federer, but Djokovic has got used to it. He said it many times. He said it after the US Open that Federer has earned the respect from the tennis audience because of the way he's played the game. The fact that he wins so much, that he's so easy on the iron. He's such a great guy. And he understands that that's going to be the case, and he's accepted that mentally. But I think that also motivates him to try and achieve what Federer has achieved, Mark.
This standard, this is probably a direct result that he's trying to get to this level so that it embraces him closer to the crowd.
magic.
Those desperate times for Federer.
15 all.
And that's what it is about, coming forward. There's never any guarantee that you're going to have a 100% record. Desperate stretch volley.
And Novak leading the applause. Should have been worth a bonus point. Oh, what happened there? Just trying to see which way Djokovic was going to move, and he didn't. Roger ended up faking himself out. It was definitely a missed opportunity there for Federer.
And still what makes this match so compelling is, can Djokovic make the third set similar to the first two sets? We know that Federer is not going to go away. Still plenty of drama around the match.
I mean, we both know how difficult it is to maintain this kind of level over the course of 3 sets. In fact, the best I ever saw from Roger was against Andy Murray, semi-finals of Wimbledon. That level for 3 sets, I've never ever seen Roger play it. It was the best shot making from the Swiss in all the matches I've ever commentated on.
Again, Djokovic.
I've seen him play incredible tennis for 2.5 sets.
1 game.
Never the base level of play. It was almost a perfect 10.
That's a
body serve. Might not get the free one, but you'll get that short reply. Needed a 60-degree wedge there, Mark. Tough shot to hit, isn't it?
Well, it is when you look up at the scoreboard and you're being whitewashed as far as the scoreline.
Does it affect somebody like Federer when he looks up at the scoreboard, or does he think, I've got all these records and I want just about everything that there is to win in the sport?
Well, it looks like the mind is still activated because he's trying to redirect these serves, more into the body now. A few more attempts to get to the net.
Good start to this third set. Federer starting to engage the fans. But he's down 2 sets to love. But he's up 2-1 in the third.
Get out of my face, please.
Fans are coming back next year. Why not take the Blackmore's Wellbeing Check? Wellbeingcheck.com.au for your chance to win a VIP trip to the
Tie.
66 minutes these guys have been at it. It's day 11 of the 2016 Australian Open. Women's final was set a little earlier today. Angelique Kerber will take on Serena Williams. Novak Djokovic now in pole position to cement his spots in Sunday's showpiece final.
Very short, spinning second serve. The only plus for Djokovic is that it got up very high.
Stretch it up.
So, Robbie, what's your opinion there of Ljubicic and Severin Luthi there? Do you think that's still like a transition mode? Why Ljubicic is sitting in the second row as opposed to sitting next
alongside?
To, yeah.
I don't think about those things.
Yeah, Djokovic.
Suggesting that Ivan is still in the economy class. He's waiting for that upgrade to first. Yeah, I mean, I watched it. Both of the practices. Today's warm-up and 2 days ago for Roger. And it was Ivan who was more the hitting partner, and it was Severin who was on the same side of the court as Roger. Well, the interaction was with Severin. Ivan was on the other side of the court. It's so difficult to understand the dynamic just from that, 30-minute hit. But I do ask myself the question, is it a microcosm of what's actually happening on a full-time basis? At the moment, I do think Ivan will be playing second fiddle for a while till he gets comfortable with how everything works, what the feedback is like to Roger, how he likes to get fed the information. And you heard Roger speaking the other day with Jim after his last match against Kay, speaking in glowing terms about how important Severin has been in his tennis career the last 8 years.
30-15.
It's been one of the differences tonight. All the decision-making from Novak has been good. Hasn't been the case for Roger. Once again, they're choosing the wrong side.
Just getting over the top of the ball there on that volley. An exceptional return.
Jaw-dropping stuff. And I think there's been an official Human Torch sighting on Rod Laver Arena, and it comes in the form of Novak Djokovic. Federer's got that. And that was interesting. First time we've seen Novak a little tentative on the forehand.
Perhaps a better position for Federer up at net there. He was much more settled, was able to pick off the passing shot cross court.
Where's he been hitting that passing shot with the forehand for the most part?
Most of the time it has been down the line.
Chose the slightly more conservative option on that break point, and he paid the price for it.
Certainly felt like he had the options though, you know, line
Yes,
as
definitely.
well as the head, overhead.
Federer saves a break point in the fifth game of the third set. Gets his nose back out in front. 3-2 he leads. Those kind of games can only help Federer. I think it almost helps the fact that you were down a break point and able to save it, because it just makes your opponent think a little bit more than if Roger had held to love there, Mark.
Well, it certainly would have almost closed the door on Federer's hopes of whether he sneaks a set, maybe even 2 sets, but a bit of a surprise to just run the risk behind the second serve coming in.
Time.
Beautiful skyline here, Melbourne. The lights shining brightly as we come back to one of the great sporting precincts, I think, where in all of the 4 majors that we play.
Well, I think it's one of the greatest, if not the greatest sporting city in the world. Logistically, it is so well organized as Melbourne.
Thank you.
So many different arenas within great proximity of one another. So easy to get to and from the city. There's all these arenas, both Hisense, RLA and the Margaret Court Arena, with the retractable roofs. They become multi-purpose facilities. I think we had the FINA World Championships here a couple of years ago. Big concerts over at the Hisense Arena. Victorian government works very closely as well with Tennis Australia, don't they, Mark?
They do. They've funded the whole sporting complex here, of course, the soccer stadium, MCG, home to many a cricket victory over South Africa. So there's that shot, the backhand up the line, that kind of opened the match up against Thomas Berdych the other night. And this is the first ever time that he's been at 15-30 on the Djokovic serve.
I mean, are we calling it a gilt-edged opportunity just yet? Probably.
Again, something up the middle of the court. A couple of options available for Djokovic. Chose the cross court.
Great dynamic balance. And finally, Federer starting to electrify this crowd. For the first time in this match, he's got break points. It's taken him 1 hour and 16 minutes to fashion them.
(30-40). Let for service.
Direction of serve going to the backhand side of Federer.
I think he's going to change it up here, Mark. He's going to go with that slider. Cannot miss there. It's interesting.
Yes.
Djokovic, as things have got a little tighter in this third set, hardly used that backhand down the line.
No.
Just happy to go cross court.
Maybe just saving for it. He's got to get into the position. It's got to be around the baseline, if not inside, to actually hit it at a premium. Again, focusing on that Federer backhand side. Less lethal if he lands a first serve, Djokovic.
There again, early on in the match, we saw him rip that backhand down the line for a winner. And I think he's just gone into a slightly more default setting, conservative mode. This is where Djokovic gets himself into a little bit of trouble. Open the door here again for Federer. To seen him maybe just stay on the point a little longer. Was that the right time to go for it?
Well, I certainly was on. Look at his court position there, healthy. Set the point up with taking the pace off the backhand, allowing him to find his balance in the rally.
The fact he's going to the Novak forehand again.
Certainly less pace from Federer in these last few rallies. But if you're going to try and slow ball, offer some junk up to the other end, still got to be able to not hit too many floaters there. That was just up the middle, easy pickings for Djokovic.
Too good.
Court positioning has changed. We can see Djokovic there. Federer much more stronger, a bit more presence around that baseline. We're usually praising Djokovic for his position there, not to backing off of the baseline.
The longer this game goes on, Mark, the more meaningful it becomes. It's that little slider that you've loved all tournament. Court surface really is responsive to it, just sliding away. Mark, of course, has been out here playing in the Legends event. It's like the first hand of experience of the court surface.
Yes.
134, so should be able to give Federer time to dance around and hit the explosive forehand. Oh.
Advantage, Djokovic.
It's too good. Again, the focus from Djokovic onto the Federer backhand.
It's not an easy shot for a single-hander.
Certainly isn't, but he was able to push it forward. You see that one or two quick steps. He's about halfway between the baseline and the service line, making sure that he gets it in his strike zone.
This game nigh on 10 minutes now.
There's plenty left. The spring, the speed in those 34-year-old legs.
Do not count him out just yet. How good was that?
Mr. Djokovic and on the left service line. Or was called out.
I haven't seen much of Pascal Maria in this match so far. It's a good thing always. It's in. 99% out is 100% in our sport. Good challenge. I mean, if you're Federer, you're looking for the backhand again.
You'd have to. Djokovic hasn't changed in this game.
He's got him! Finally! Roger Federer is able to punch some holes in Novak Djokovic.
Federer leads.
Federer going with the off forehand again, awfully close there.
So that's only part of the work done. He's got to back it up here.
Love 15.
that shot as good as anyone.
15-all.
The way he moves through this shot on contact. Slightly open stance with the left leg then coming through. The hop takes place on the right leg. Simple technique, but very effective.
Change of pace maybe from Djokovic there, just amped up the final forehand. Hard into Federer. Lifted it long over the baseline.
Court position better in this game already from Djokovic. Aggressive, tight to the baseline. Federer needs a few more of those. Count there the number of aces on one hand for Federer so far. Federer at his very best.
Fantastic finish, obviously, with the forehand. A small opening there for Djokovic. He had it. Federer out wide, played the backhand defense, and Djokovic still on the baseline.
Oh, what a turnaround after breaking in the sixth game. Federer cements the hold and leads 5-2 here in the third.
5 games to 2.
And it's interesting you mentioned that shot, because I was just thinking about it as well, Mark, because on the break point when he did come and he was a little tentative with the forehand volley. Heavy-handed, Federer eventually ran it down, hit the little flick cross-court winner. I'm just wondering if the backer losing that point, whether he was hesitant to come forward.
And that was all part of many years ago, just having it so it's there for him to be able to selectively choose when to come forward, to make it, you know, just part of it. It was he would find times where Djokovic would come forward, maybe lose the point, and it would, confidence would just stop him from ever venturing forward again. And certainly felt there was just that slight chance. So I'm glad, Robbie, you also felt that was an opportunity that maybe slid past Djokovic. It's an intuitive move to be able to come forward. You have to be able to see up the other end, recognize that your shot has done some damage, that it's going to get a defensive response, and you're moving forward.
Crowd certainly engaged here on Relive Arena now. This is becoming a contest, 2-5. The opening 60 minutes, it really was one-way traffic. Djokovic was pummeling Federer into submission.
Well, he was so on fire, wasn't he? Djokovic.
15-all.
Federer's been able to put some of those flames out, still smoking. We all know where there's smoke, there's fire. If Djokovic can strike back here in this latter stage of set 3.
see the shot placement of his backhand in this set versus the first two, because again, he's hardly used the backhand down the line.
Djokovic.
Yep.
Mr. Djokovic on the court on the right near side. But what's going on?
Almost a contrast between these two as well in the challenges. Djokovic usually quite precise with these. Federer often. Oh, that's caught it again. Federer not always seeing the ball correctly. Just kind of throws it out sometimes, just as a matter of using some of those challenges.
Yep, check challenge, as I like to call them.
Again, Djokovic.
Just what Novak would have wanted. A nice speedy hold, get the balls to the other side of the net.
5 games to 3.
Put the pressure right back on those broad shoulders of the 17-time major champion. So the moment of truth in set number 3 for Federer. Can he serve it out?
Not quite the same velocity with the return from Djokovic there.
What does your gut tell you? Federer going to hold serve here or not? Yes or no?
No.
I'm with you. I'm not going to be popular with Federer fans, but that's my gut feel. And I want him to hold because I want more tennis.
Very true. You guarantee that 96% of the crowd here will certainly be wanting.
Don't sell him short. 100%. First time he's used that backhand down the line.
Mr. Federer is turning the corner on the right baseline. Ball was going in.
That's where it's so nice to have two hands on the shot mark. You can use that left hand to create that additional spin and get that ball up and down quickly. It's one of those line-licking backhands.
Mr. Federer has 2 challenges remaining.
It tastes so good. America was looking for a bit of divine intervention there. Oh, that was nice. Out of nowhere, a little bit of S&V on the second delivery. He knows all about that.
40-30.
Key moments. We've only seen maybe, I'm talking 3 or 4 times, has Federer thrown in that serve volley behind the second serve.
Set point, Federer. Oh, he has used the dimensions of the court there.
Yes.
Mixed in was the Djokovic backhand up the line, cross court, and then forehand cross court. Just cozying up to the sidelines.
Has he made it? I think he has.
And managed. Federer.
Second set point.
On the left center service line. Ball was called in.
Let's take a trip into the cartoon kingdom of Hawkeye. Oh, it's out. No ways. Bring the heart rate down.
Yes.
Margins in our sport so small.
Let it for service. Advantage, Federer.
Third set point for Roger. He's done it. Federer has taken the third set. It took 45 minutes. He reduces the arrears. Djokovic leads by 2 sets to 1. Game on. Well, I tell you, just having a look at the stats, one of the most amazing things there was the difference between Federer on first and second serve. He was only winning 57% of the points on first serve, 77 on his second. Defended that second serve so very well, Mark. Almost inexplicable, that.
It was a bit of a benign set of tennis from Djokovic, wasn't it, after the sublime play that he started off with. Just, you know, went off in some of those stats as well, showing that Federer lifted his play. Winners, many more coming from Federer's end of the court. This one up overhead. Did see Djokovic a couple of opportunities trying to come forward. And that just lit the crowd. But the standard that we saw, I'm not sure that I can honestly say that I've seen someone of Djokovic's level facing someone of Federer's level play at that level, and for 2 sets was just clean as. And I don't know if it sounds a bit harsh that he played a benign set, but he had to come down maybe, you know, a rung or 2.
Yeah, I agree. That's what amazed me when I watched Federer play against Murray in that semi-final at Wimbledon last year. All the matches I've commentated on Roger, when he's played against the other best players in the world. Yes, he's beaten some of them comprehensively, but it really did blow my mind at the level that he was able to sustain for 3 sets, and you really see it. And even somebody as good as Djokovic, it's almost impossible to maintain that. I'm sure Federer would have been aware of that and he was just hoping for the opportunity. And it wasn't a big one, it was a small one. And is there a possibility that they might be closing the roof? Yep, I think it is. Wayne McEwen. Perhaps there's rain in the area, and I think we're going to be closing the roof now. So there'll be a slight delay, 12 minutes, I think it is.
Yeah, the roof closes relatively fast compared to some of the other major stadiums around.
So I think that we might get an announcement from the chair umpire, Pascal Maria. Hasn't got far to go. Novak's got his tracky top on. Roger's just about to put his on. So well, what do you think now with this roof closing, a slight delay here? Will Federer be okay with that, or not really? Do you think he wants to work this momentum that he's got now, Mark?
Well, yes, I think it does hinder Federer's ability to continue roll with this momentum that he's been able to create. So the delay might put a bit of a stop to it. Then again, he's one of the best indoor players that we've seen, but he's Djokovic.
He's not bad either. I mean, indoors, outdoors, clay, hard, grass, it don't matter. These guys can play everywhere. Still in good spirits, Djokovic fans. They'll know chances of Federer coming back from 2-0 against Novak to get the win. It's certainly never happened before. Only once has Federer lost the first set. Ended up on the winning side against Novak, and of course that was in Dubai many years ago. And of course that's 2 out of 3 sets. That's a little easier to do. Two legends of our sport, Rod Laver on the right, Ken Rosewell on the left. What do they think of these guys, Mark, when you chat to them?
I think they're in awe of the players. They know that the game has moved on since their time. Advances in racket technology, string.
Be interesting to see these guys play with those 65 square-inch wooden rackets, right? Certainly wouldn't be able to make some of the shots at the end of their range that they're able to make these days. When you look at those old wooden rackets, and they look smaller than some of the squash rackets we see these days. The sweet spot's about the size of a pea.
Ljubicic rising to his feet there, and actually just behind Ivan Ljubicic. And if I may, just a shout out to
ladies and gentlemen, due to the forthcoming rain, the roof should be closing in a few seconds.
The roof is shutting, but the couple behind are the parents of Peter Carter, who is a past player, was the coach of Roger Federer in his very early years, and just to show the type of person, that the character that Roger Federer. Unfortunately, Peter Carter lost his life at a very early age, and Roger still engages conversation, still in touch with Peter Carter's parents every year, brings them over from, they live in the country town of Nurjukta in South Australia, invites them over, flies them in, puts them up at the hotel, and they sit in prime position there in the players' box. I saw them earlier. They're just absolutely mesmerized that, and ecstatic that their son's memory is still right there, shining brightly, thanks to Roger.
Of course, Peter Carter, one who's Roger's most instrumental coaches early on in his career. Hailed from Australia, and of course spent a lot of time working with Roger in Switzerland.
So what were your thoughts the other night, Robbie? David Ferrer was playing his match against Andy Murray, and David Ferrer actually was getting back into the match. It was early in the third set when the referee came onto the court.
Yeah, I saw that.
They said we're going to have to stop play. We need the roof closed. That there were storms coming around.
But the rain hadn't started falling yet, had it?
It had not started falling, which is
an interesting
certainly
one.
the argument that David Ferrer had, that he wanted to see the rain before, you know, making any stoppage to play.
I mean, that's a good argument, isn't it? It's tough to argue against that, and I can see his point 100%, especially when he's worked so hard to turn things around. But what happens if it doesn't materialize? You know, you're just
only 8 minutes, huh?
presuming that something might happen. And you know, in that stage, you've got to be fair to both players. And as far as I'm concerned, Ferrer's got a leg to stand on.
Yeah, it is. He has. It's an outdoor tournament, isn't it? And it certainly changed the match. It happened at a period where Ferrer had won the second set, had a couple of, I think it was maybe 1-love or 2-1, that had a very tough games, and it's where Ferrer wanted to have Andy Murray, to make it a physical game. And the change of ends, they went through the delay, allowed Andy Murray just to regroup, give himself a bit of a breather, and the edge taken off of David Ferrer. And even Murray was talking about it afterwards, commenting that he'd had a tough time returning David Ferrer's serve with the roof open. The elements were coming down, ball was moving, but once it closed, he thought all his Christmases, felt that all the Christmases had come at once. He was able to be much more effective against David Ferrer.
Okay.
Momentum, though, you think it's well, the momentum is in the side of Roger Federer, but with Djokovic starting to serve first in the fourth, he just starts to take that command of the match once again.
So the roof will remain closed for the rest of this match. 10 minutes. A couple of lines people just making their way back into their respective positions. So Djokovic leads by 2-1. It's Mark Woodford alongside me, Rob Koenig, thoroughly enjoying this contest.
Love 15. Love 13.
So in a bit of a hole in this opening game. Certainly test the resilience of Djokovic now with a second serve.
It's an important opportunity there.
15-30.
You can't get beaten by a second serve, no matter how good it is. like that shot.
30 all.
It's really a make or break situation, isn't it? And if he pulls it up the line to the Djokovic forehand, he has to hit to such a small target.
Got to go inside out there. You can still be aggressive. You're going over the lowest part of the net if you go inside out. And it's 2 points that he's given away when he's had a look at second serves at love 30.
Three straight returns. He's been up a little too tall on the returns, Federer.
Yeah, Djokovic.
Some important holes. Put a little asterisk next to that opening service game of Novak. The start of this fourth set, he was down love 30. And Federer misses 3 second serve returns in a row. And if he wants to harbour ambitions of getting right back into this match, he's got to hang on to those.
Fabio. Love 15. Left. First service. $30-15.
Length shining from Djokovic. Had a forehand there during that rally, just sent it up with a bit more rotation and height clearance. Exceptional depth. Djokovic not picking that serve at all.
Yeah, Federer. One game all.
It's important for Federer to serve well and defend at second serve as well as he did in that third set when he lost 3 points on it.
$50. Mr. Federer challenged the call on the left baseline. Ball was called out. Fachilov. Oh! 30-15. Mr. Federer has 2 challenges remaining. Djokovic.
Polish returns in the second serve from Federer.
Djokovic leads.
That allows Novak a comfortable hold. He leads 2-1 fourth set.
So that build-up that Federer had working for him in number 3, it's just gone off the boils, like it's been taken off the stove. Maybe the miss returns in that very first game at love 30. It's just kind of put a stop there. He's just gone off of the attacking play. There just doesn't seem to be that urge or want to try and finish some of these points up at net. Use that backhand slice, short.
Tie. Mr. Djokovic is challenging the call on the right far side. Ball was called in.
Yes. Definitely got a piece.
59.
Just a little touching of the line will give it a bit more skid. Slightly thicker paint. It's like a white enamel paint. Smoother in texture, so the ball skids more. It's raw athleticism at its very best. A little bit of elevation, sensation there from Roger. So quick to recover.
Enough. Yeah. Federer. Two games on.
Oh, Mark, I'm not sure if I can remember back-to-back holds that easy for Roger.
No, how many times that he would have held serve love tonight. Maybe if it's the first, maybe the second.
59.
There's the out that players like Djokovic,
Ladies
Murray,
and gentlemen, please remind to be quiet during the point.
and Nadal. They feel like they have that out going to Federer's one-handed backhand. The out meaning that if he plays that backhand slice, it's not always played with some pace. They get back into the point.
Forty, 50.
It's a little uncharacteristic. Just to see him using that backhand down the line again, Mark. Perhaps the
14,
confidence
30.
starting to course back through the veins.
Again, Djokovic.
So nothing to choose between these two
Djokovic
combatants
leads 3-2.
after 5 games in this 4th set. Djokovic, though, leads 2-1. I love the 4 sets. This is the one that's kind of started out with the least going on, Mark. It's a natural lull within the match.
Yeah. Yeah, it was explosive from the opening game tonight. Continued on. So just like a bit of a sorting out period.
Tie.
Day 11 of 2016 Australian Open. It's the 29th time it's been played here at Melbourne Park. First of the men's semi-finals, Roger Federer down 2-1 and 3-2 against Novak Djokovic. Nicely done, no panic from Novak there.
And it is so easy to panic on that, isn't it? Ball's dropping very quickly. Great defense by Federer. It's best to take it on the backhand side there.
If you're joining us for the first time, wherever you are, why are you late, first of all? Just a quick recap. It was Novak who came out on fire in the opening 2 sets. And the most part in the early stages of the third, but Federer hung in there nicely and then eventually broke the serve in that 6th game to lead 4-2, hung on to his delivery. And that was the difference between the two. Federer had a stranglehold in the match. And a couple of early chances in this 4th set. The first game he had Novak, love 30, missed 3 second serve returns in a row. But that's about as eventful as this set has been so far. Now it's just got a whole lot more interesting.
30.
Looks like in this 4th set, Robbie Federer has been focusing on the tee serve here on this juice court. Oh, that's a miss.
(40-30).
Some characteristic. First 2 sets. He was giving away absolutely nothing. We questioned whether he could keep up that level. Good body language as well, good emotional release, letting Djokovic know that he is ready for this scrap. He's not going away.
Yeah, we were wondering if and when Federer was going to try and bring some emotion into it. The crowd want to be able to dive in between the lines here as well. Federer just a bit more vocal.
(15).
This is kind of what we saw a lot of against Seymour. A couple of good points, a couple of cheap ones. And Novak struggled to get out of that funk that he was in. Well done. Again, I prefer the up the line pass there. Roger had time.
30-15.
You can see the length of the approach shot just over the service line.
He's got good hands, as Djokovic. Often we don't speak about that often enough. Great finishing volleys. Technically very sound.
40-15.
That investment that he made in Mark Woodford in 2009, I think it was. Money well spent.
Well, thank you, but he certainly did that forehand side. I always had given him a lot of praise for how compact he was on the forehand.
Again, Djokovic.
Nice speedy holds.
Djokovic
Novak
leads.
leads.
4 games to 3.
4 games to 3, 4th set. Attendance record here today in Melbourne, a little over 18,000 as far as the night session is concerned, and a beautiful look back from Hisense Arena towards the city, and then that's from the city back towards Melbourne Park. Beautifully lit up at the National Tennis Centre as well, just at the back of Hisense Arena. And of course, the 3 show courts we have here at Melbourne Park really is a treat if you do have a little bit of inclement weather, which we did have earlier on in the tournament. But you get so many matches done when you've got 3 covered courts. So serving to reduce their rears, 3-4. Oh, come on! You've got to be kidding me.
Love 15.
So it's a shot like that that gives, the immediate belief for Djokovic to get that break.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, look at this dynamic balance here. Able to change direction on a dime.
We haven't seen a shot like that from the Serbs' end of the court for the last hour.
He's got it! All over that, like white on rice.
And Federer's looking up the other end, and you can see Djokovic take a bit of a tumble.
Love 30.
Loses his balance, but how fast. It's almost like a skier going off of a mogul. Recalibrates, moves over, and picks up the passing shot.
Federer. Almost those 3-second serve returns in the opening game. Djokovic's serve at love 30. Roger Federer has just got out of jail. Remy is sure like picking that one up, but still work to do here. Oh, how sweet it is. That could be a major plot point in the outcome of this set. He was there. Djokovic's reaction thereafter, still thinking about the previous point and how he should have capitalized, but
thank you.
He's got a chance to make amends here, Woody. Not enough, too short, 147 k's an hour, and the world #1 makes him pay.
Djokovic leads 5-3.
And it's hard to argue with the choice that Federer making there, coming in behind the second. The surprise tactic, it's paid off for the last set or more. At the crucial time, just giving a little extra space for Djokovic to find a piercing return.
Djokovic serving for a place in his 6th Australian Open final.
15 love.
On the 5 occasions that he has reached the semi-finals, Djokovic here at the AO has gone on to take the title.
Fetch it up. Photos.
Rock solid when it matters most.
40 love.
After 2 hours and 19 minutes, world number 1 has got 3 match points. That'll do it. Novak Djokovic is through to a 6th Australian Open final. It'll be a 19th major final overall for him, and it's a startling 17th final in a row. He beats Roger Federer 6-1, 6-2, 3-6, 6-3.
Sign for tomorrow night's semi-finalist, Rod Laver. Appreciative, enjoyed the tennis that Djokovic showed us.
I mean, the first 2 sets was off the charts, wasn't it?
Well, you know, a lot of people have been talking about Djokovic this year. He started off in style, got a little rattle in the match against Simon, but has answered big time, taking out Nishikori in straight, and tonight, this man here.
A nice comeback from Federer in the 3rd, but he just couldn't sustain the level. In all fairness, it was Djokovic's level who dropped off in that 3rd set. Roger made the most of it, but again, just rose the bar a little higher. And just to put things into perspective, this is a 17th final in a row for Novak. The last time he lost in the early stages of the tournament, you've got to go back to Doha 2015 when Ivo Karlovic beat him there. That was a quarter-final loss. Since then, he has been almost impenetrable.
Well, I think it's easy to say that it very clearly impenetrable.
I mean, he could go on to win 3 majors a year for the next 3 years, quite easily.
Not too far away from clinching a slam.
Well, he's down with Jim Courier now. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Well, Novak, well done. Not sure anyone can play any better than you played the first couple of sets here, but Roger, the great champion he is, he fought back. What got you over the line? It was obviously tricky there in the end.
Well, yeah, definitely. I've played unbelievable first 2 sets, but that's what, you know, is necessary against Roger. He's been playing on a very high level during this tournament. He dropped only 1 set, and I knew he's gonna be aggressive. He's gonna try to mix up the pace and try to come to the net. But you know, I came up with the right intensity, great concentration. I executed everything perfectly, and obviously 2-set lead. It's more comforting, but it was a battle in the end. And thank you all for coming, and I hope you enjoyed this match tonight.
You started 2016 so well, playing incredibly in Doha. In this tournament, you had some challenging moments, particularly against Gilles Simon. Did you ever doubt that you could turn the switch back on and play this level? Because it was pretty impressive right from first ball tonight.
Well, I've had, most of the Grand Slams that I won in my career. I at least had one 4 or 5 setter that went the distance and was very close. So that was the case here against Simone in the 4th round, and it was a really tough match and made me think after, what I need to do and to get better. Obviously, you play a lot of mind games with yourself, and it's important to always believe that you can play your best, perform your best, and it's important that in the end of the day your convictions are stronger than your doubts.
Well, I think Roger is clearly someone who's helped you get better in your career. This is your 45th match. You now lead 23 wins to 22. What has he meant to you in your career?
Well, I was saying many times before that both Roger and Rafa have contributed a lot to my career, to my success, because of these 2 rivalries that I've had, and playing those 2 guys 100 times combined obviously made me a better player. And, I worked very hard to get myself in a position to challenge them. It wasn't easy, but right now I'm feeling like I'm at the peak of my career, and I'm trying to cherish every moment on the court.
Well, you're continuing to do things in the record books. You'll be going for your 6th Australian Open title here, which would tie Roy Emerson. Be very special. Why has this tournament been your most successful major? You play great on all surfaces. Why has this been the one?
Well, this has been the first Grand Slam that I won back in 2008. So each time I come back to this tournament and step on Relive Arena, I have this beautiful memory from 2008, and of course over the years I've been playing some of my best tennis in this tournament, and hopefully I can keep on going.
All right, just 2 more questions and I'll let you go. My first question is a real simple one. We started the interview over here. You keep moving that way. What do I smell? Like what's going on? Why are you moving away from me?
Okay, this is what you do. You ask a question and then you step in, So I had enough. I had enough face-offs tonight. I don't need any more.
Okay, last question, and I'll make it real easy. Milos Raonic, Andy Murray playing tomorrow night. Looking forward to that one, I'm sure. What are you expecting from that match?
I'm expecting the unexpected. No, it's gonna be a great match. Milos, I think, improved in the off-season. His serve and his baseline. He's moving better. He won Brisbane and he's feeling confident. The other hand, Andy, is a great quality player, somebody that enjoys also a lot of support here. And we played many times in the final. So, I have 2 days off now to the final, and I'm looking forward to some downtime.
Well, enjoy it. You earned it. The great Novak Djokovic.
He certainly is great. Approaching legend status, that is for certain, and I think it's said and done. He'll come pretty close to 17 majors that Roger has right now. That's my feel, given the fact that he can play so well on so many different surfaces, Mark. Yeah. Quick look at the numbers. What do you make of those tonight?
Scintillating from Djokovic, always managing winners' unforced errors, creating enough opportunities for himself. And, Federer, well, the unforced errors there, not able to put it in the correct balance. And, wow, 1 break of only the 4 chances that he was offered, Federer. But Novak, just stating there that in any Grand Slam, you're going to go through to the final and take the title here. You expect to have 1 difficult, if not 2 very difficult matches. He's got his out of the way. He's navigated it through, and will enjoy the next 48 hours off.
Well, I certainly enjoyed my few hours with you in the booth. Always a pleasure to work alongside someone like Mark Woodford. Thanks for your insights, and thanks for tuning in for episode 45 of Djokovic versus Federer. Novak leads the head-to-head now 23-22. Hope you enjoyed this contest as much as we did. From both Mark Woodford and myself, Rob Koenig, it's bye for now from Rod Laver Arena.